We're just 4 days away from the first full Friday night of high school football, and the Grundy Center Spartans are back at work looking to take care of some unfinished business. Now, Grundy Center takes a #1 state ranking into the new season after finishing as the Class A runner-up in back-to-back seasons. Now, two-time All-State quarterback Logan Canuck led both those teams. Now, as a senior, he has one last shot to take it all the way to the finals.
Coming back my junior year, we knew that we had a shot at winning it all, and not winning it sucked. So this year, it's the last chance to do it. So it's all out.
The top-ranked Spartans hosting South Hardin on Friday night to open the 2021 football season. Center Spartans opened the season #1 in the state in Class 1A, but after losing in the state title game 2 years in a row, Mark Whitley says Grundy Center is focused on finishing on top at the end of this season.
2 years.
It's definitely made us hungrier.
2 title games.
It's just motivation.
2 times Grundy Center came up just short.
Obviously, there's a disappointment of not being able to win one of those last 2 state championship games.
But still, just playing in back-to-back title games was a massive feat for Travis Zajac Spartans. Now the work is underway for shot number 3. And while his team heads into the season with a #1 ranking, Zajac says it's just talk until they back it up.
Keep going. Yeah, it's a motivator. Now, the whole thing is we got to go prove that we're worthy of being in that same conversation as some of the best schools in the state in Class A.
First down. And leading the charge of a talented, experienced senior class is 4 years starting quarterback Logan Canuck. The 2-time All-Stater rushed for 18 scores and threw for 15 more as Grundy Center rolled through a perfect regular season in 2020. And although several new Spartans will see the field this time around, Canuck says nothing changes.
It's new guys, but the goal is still the same. The effort, the motivation, it's all still there.
Our seniors this year, they've played a lot of meaningful snaps for us in the last 2 seasons. We've played a lot of football games, high-stakes games.
And there will be plenty more of those for the Class A favorite. And for seniors like Canuck, it's now or never.
This year, it's the last chance to do it, so it's all out.
In Grundy Center, Mark Woodley, News 7 KWWL.
2 years, 2 trips to the state title game. Grundy Center football has been about as good as it gets the last 2 seasons, but they don't have that championship locked up. And while they're aiming to win that last one, they won't say it's title or bust. The Spartans had a target on their backs last season, and while this is a different group, they know very well they're getting everybody's best shot every time out, and they are ready.
Well, every team takes on its own personality. We're trying to kind of develop that right now leading up to this first game and understanding that because of what we've been able to accomplish the last couple of years, that target on the back is pretty big, and preseason rankings and all that really don't mean an awful lot in the long run. They do give ammunition to our opponents.
I'd say we're definitely more prepared, especially us seniors who's been through that experience for both years, is to just know that every team's going to give 100% and that we have to be ready for that.
Classic rivalry in Grundy County. Top-ranked team in Class A, Grundy Center, visiting the 8th-ranked team in Class 1A, Dyke New Hartford. The #1 Spartans beat South Hardin 35-7 the season opener, while the Wolverines upset Waterloo Columbus 35-21. Mark Whitley joins us live from his hometown of Dyke to talk about this big game of the week.
And it was a big game of the week. Last year, Rick, this Grundy Center team, they knocked off Dyke New Hartford 35-0. That was not the game we got here tonight. In fact, you're going to want to stick around to the very last highlight of this one. A light mist plagued much of the first half as these two battled it out for Grundy County supremacy. Ball a bit slick because of it, and Spartans' Patrick Brown III takes advantage. Second Wolverine turnover of the night, and that one hurt because Logan Canuck, he goes skyward to Dexter Whitehill. Wide open, 47 yards, 7-0 Grundy Center after 1. The Spartans, though, had their own problems. Canuck doesn't make many mistakes, but he made one right here across the middle. Parker Adams with the pick, and Adams, he's got a lot of room down the far sideline, takes this one 46 yards before getting knocked out of bounds at the 2. The Wolverines in business at that point. 2 plays later, it's Rhett Wardell. Takes a big hit, but gets it just across the line. Dyke New Hartford ties it up 7-7 going to the halftime break. After a scoreless third, the Spartans driving in the 4th. Logan Canuck scrambles and finds Ben Wegman, who makes a great grab and coverage inside the 15-yard line. However, they had to settle for a 28-yard field goal from sophomore Colin Gordon. Spartans take a 10-7 lead with under 6 minutes remaining, and it was desperation time for the Wolverines. In a 3rd and 18 hole with time running out, Jacob Stockdale finds Devin Kolach, 22 yards. Big play keeps the drive alive, and it came down to 4th and 10 from the 30. Stockdale throws up a prayer into the end zone, and running back Jarek Hall in traffic answers it, wrestles the ball away. An unbelievable catch in the final minutes, and it's a game winner. The Wolverines knock off the #1 Spartans 13-10 to move to 2-0.
Vic was in Independence tonight, and he also made the trip to Fairbank, where Wapsie Valley hosted a Grundy Center team who was looking to bounce back after a loss to that Dyke New Hartford squad last week. Mitch?
It's a lot of driving, Grant. Gas is $3 a gallon. I don't know what you're doing. That Dyke team, though, they're poised to make some noise. You're going to keep an eye on them. Fun to watch. They were the talk of the newsroom last Friday for us, but Grundy Center, they're putting it in the rear view. They're just trying to move on. Pom Pom, great deal here. 2 for $5 in Fairbank tonight. I didn't bring cash, so I'll put you on TV, kid. Nice moves. First quarter, Spartans driving. Dane Zinkula coming at you down the near sideline. 37 yards after he makes the turn. Just going to make it in for 6. A little bruise to cap it off, too, to put Grundy Center up early. Later in the first, Warriors staying tough. Logan Canuck's pass tipped, almost picked by Dawson Schmidt there. Wapsie Valley forces a punt. Warriors driving now. They decide to go for it on 4th down inside Spartan territory. Zinkula plays defense, too. So there's your heads up. Grabs the INT on the far side. Grundy Center steps on the gas from there. Bounce back in a big way. 35-0 your final from Fairbank. Wapsie Valley 1-2 now. They host AGWSR next Friday on homecoming. Grundy Center also back home for homecoming next week, too. They host Hudson.
Mitch Fick was on hand as Grundy Center scored a nice 35-0 shutout of Wapsie Valley last week. And this week, Mitch was carrying his shield once again in Grundy County as the Spartans hosted Hudson on homecoming. Mitch?
I didn't get a shield. I kind of want one now, like maybe like Breath of the Wild style, one that doesn't break though. Spartans, though, you're right, bouncing back nicely from that week 2 setback against Dyke New Hartford with the win against Wapsie Valley last week. Dane Zinkula and the fellas hosting Hudson on homecoming in Grundy Center tonight. Opening drive, Spartans already settled in. Logan Canuck out to Zinkula. He's going to take the yak and the score. Grundy Center with the early lead. Ensuing Pirates drive, make a little progress. They go for it on 4th down. Camden Davis, the sophomore, going deep, but Colin Gordon jumping in and breaking it up. He's a little mad, wanted the pick, but still get a turnover on downs. Later in the first, more from that Spartans defense. Davis out to Xander Larson, but he is going to cough it up. Cole Lear jumps on it for Grundy Center. 35-0 last week, 35-0 this week. If it ain't broke, Grundy Center won't fix it. Spartans now 3-1. They are at AGWSR next Friday. Hudson 1-3 now. They host Wapsie Valley in week 5.
Travis Zajac is going to request Mitch Fick to appear at every single Grundy Center game for the rest of the season.
Week 2 loss to Dyke New Hartford. Grundy Center has been the Grundy Center we've been accustomed to seeing. The Spartans have scored exactly 35 points in 3 straight games, while giving up just 3 points total. Grundy hosting Nashua Plainfield tonight. Good start for the Spartans on the game's first play. Dane Zinkula receives the opening kickoff. Going to slow play this one, find some space along the sideline, and he is into opponent territory after he gets drugged down right there. The offense going to make work of that return. Logan Canuck going to roll out to his left and throw one up to Dexter Whitehill, who makes the catch and proceeds to shake a guy out of the frame and out of his cleats too. Grundy in the red zone. The Spartans go with the rollout again to the left. This time Canuck to Tate Jarofsky, who does the rest, trucking his way through 2 tacklers. Look at the effort for the touchdown. Grundy Center rolls to the 40-0 victory, posting its 3rd shutout in 4 games.
Class A District 4 matchup tonight. 2nd ranked Grundy Center hosting North Tama tonight. Now last week Grundy Center, I should say North Tama was ranked, got beat by Wapsie Valley, but tonight they get a chance to tie for a district championship.
A lot on the line this last week of the season, if you can believe that. You know, both Grundy Center and North Tama are in the state football playoffs. 2nd-ranked Grundy Center is unbeaten in district play. A win tonight would clinch the outright Class A District 3 championship. Meantime, North Tama, as Rick mentioned, suffered its first loss of the season last week to Wapsie Valley. So a Red Hawk win tonight over Grundy Center would force a 3-way tie with Wapsie for the district title. So let's head out to Grundy Center. Senior night there at Spartan Stadium. First drive of the game for the Spartans. It's 4th and 12. Senior quarterback Logan Canuck throwing a dart to wide receiver Austin Betts for the 15-yard gain and a first down, keeping the drive alive. Same drive, 4th and goal. Canuck with the play action, rolls right, and he finds Colin Gordon in the back corner of the end zone. That's a touchdown, and the Spartans take a 7-0 lead, and the home fans are loving it on senior night. Redhawks next possession. It's quarterback Gabe Capriva. It looks like he's bottled up there, but
there
he's not.
Goes.
He's going to cut it outside. He gets a block there, and it looks like he could go all the way to the house, but he is going to step out of bounds right there. A 54-yard run. Visiting fans with the harvest theme tonight. 'Tis the season, apparently. 4th and 5 now on that drive, though. Capriva fakes the pitch, then throws the inside screen to Adam Griner. But big number 50, Braden Sawyer, with a great tackle. And that would make things go the other way. So the Spartans would get the ball back, looking to convert. The Canucks pass is intercepted by Devin McKinley. And that would put North Tama back in business. Spartan defense, though, they were tough tonight. They would stand strong. This is 4th down. Capriva to McKinley. It's a double pass.
Nice.
It's just too long for Michael Bell to get it. So that drive would stop. But guess what? North Tama will get the ball back. Capriva going deep, and it's Michael Schreier coming down with it at about the 10-yard line. So the Redhawks are back in the red zone. Time winding down in the half. Capriva back to pass. But once again, the Spartan defense bends but doesn't break. Redhawks recover the fumble, but the clock runs out. 7-0 at that point. The big goal line stand would propel the Spartans in the second half. They don't look back. 28-0 the final. So the Spartans will win the district championship. So that means they will most likely host a playoff game next week, while North Tama loses their second straight. Wapsie Valley won tonight, so that means that North Tama will be third. But again, both are really good district.
And let's just say Grundy Center only lost this season to Dyke New Hartford, unbeaten against Class A competition. And this year, Iowa City Regina is not in that class.
So, yeah, that's a bonus, right, for that. So, yeah, Grundy Center looking really good tonight. Their defense, like I said, they bent, but they didn't break. And then in the second half, they just rolled. So they're looking strong going into the playoffs next week. Hard to believe we're going to be in the playoffs. Playoffs.
Great job, Bob.
Grundy Center has been a title favorite in Class A all year, and once again, they have looked like an absolute juggernaut, outscoring in-class competition 226-17. That's right. But they got their best test since week 2 tonight with 6-1 North Tama in the house. A great opportunity for the Spartans to test themselves, carrying the shield into the postseason. Picking things up, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. 4th and 10, Logan Canuck passes across the middle and finds junior wideout Austin Betts. Nice hit. That's a Spartan first down. A few plays later, 4th and goal, Canuck rolls right and finds Colin Gordon for a clutch touchdown. Grundy Center on the board first, 7-0. North Tama looking to answer. Gabe Capriva, one of the top passers in the class on the QB draw. He's going to run it, fakes left, cuts it back to the right, and turns on the Jets. He hits the Spartan sideline with a lot of room in front of him before finally being pushed out of bounds. A big gain putting the Redhawks in business. Their offense would sputter. 4 plays later, they're going to need a conversion, and the Spartan defense is going to stop things just short of the sticks. That's a turnover on downs and a Grundy Center team that can get it done on offense and on defense. After an interception, North Tama was trying again on 4th down, this time with a little trickery, but the double pass intended for Michael Bell just out of his reach. First half was a defensive battle. Grundy Center led at 7-0 at the break. They go on to get the 28-0 win, shutting out the Redhawks.
Round of the Class A playoffs. Grundy Center hosts Earlham. The 8-1 Spartans opened the postseason with an impressive 35-8 victory over St. Ansgar last week. The Earlham Cardinals, though, they came in here looking to shock some people, and they would surprise very early in this game. Going for the onside kick. That's right. Earlham recovering the football. That's Brody Morrison. And this was set Earlham up early. Cardinal quarterback Daryl Matcham is going to escape Grundy Center's Cole Lair to give the Cardinals a first down on this possession. Later, Earlham, the drive was stalled, lining up for a kick. Cash Peterson, it's not going to be good. And after an 8-minute possession, Earlham comes up empty. Game still scoreless, second quarter. Spartans are looking to put some points on the board. Logan Canuck throwing to wide receiver Dexter Whitehill deep in Earlham territory. Logan Canuck is going to finish this drive for the Spartans, putting some points on the board. And guess what? That would be the only point scored tonight. Grundy Center winning a defensive battle, the final 6-0.
After 2 straight trips to state and 2 runner-up finishes, Grundy Center is once again on the doorstep of the Unidome. The Spartans looking to book their ticket back to the semis, standing in their way, North Tama. The Spartans shut out the Redhawks 28-0 in their regular season finale. Good start for Grundy. Logan Canuck going to drop back in the shotgun, and he's going to find Tate Gervasky down the seam for the 23-yard touchdown. Spartans go up 7. But it didn't take long for North Tama to respond. Class A's passing leader, Gade Kopriva, off the play action, hits a wide-open Michael Bell for the 4-yard touchdown, and we are tied up at 7. From that point on, though, it was all Spartans and that stifling defense. Cole Richmeyer read North Tama's trick play the whole way, picks it off the pass. He's got a house call for 6, and Grundy's got the lead for good. The Spartans win 28-7 and are Unidome bound for the 3rd straight season. And we'll see. Once again, Cedar Falls is the center of high school football as the state semifinals are underway this week. And for the 3rd straight season, the Spartans of Grundy Center have carried their shields into the state semis, and we're looking to make it back-to-back-to-back state championship appearances. Standing in the Spartans' way, Woodbury Central. It was scoreless after 1, but Grundy Center capitalizes off a Braden Sawyer INT. Logan Canuck on the QB sneak gives Grundy Center the 7-0 lead to start the 2nd. The Spartans defense not done with the highlight plays. This time, Dane Zinkula steps up with the interception and much more. He takes it to the outside and turns on the Jets. Could he go all the way? Yes, he could. 88 yards to the house to give Grundy Center the 14-0 lead at the break. The Spartan offense gets going in the second half. Canuck connects with Colin Gordon, who turns and takes it in for the 19-yard touchdown. Grundy Center goes up 21-0. They keep their foot on the gas. Next offensive possession, Canuck calls his own number and scores on the QB keeper. The Spartans roll to the 28-7 victory to advance to their 3rd straight title game.
Last year we thought we were pretty good. This year it's a different story. I mean, we still think we're good, but the other team's also really good, and it'll be a 2019 rematch, and we can't wait.
This is what we've been wanting all year, big solid match to win it all, so we'll be ready.
Hancock would face the winner of this game between Woodbury Central and Grundy Center. Scoreless in the first, Wildcats with the ball. Dallas Klunder looks to throw over the middle, but instead finds Braden Sawyer. Spartans with the interception. Second quarter, Grundy Center short in inches, and they run it up the middle to take the first lead of the game. Still 7-0, Wildcats fake the handoff. Klunder scrambling. He makes the throw, but yet again connects with another Spartan. Dane Zinkala with the pick, and he takes off running, leaving everyone in the dust. Grundy Center is headed to their 3rd straight championship game, winning 28-7.
Grundy Center, the runner-up the last 2 seasons, looking to get past Woodbury Central into their 3rd straight final. The defense making it happen early. Braden Sawyer with a great play, picks off Dallas Klunder, and that turnover led to this in the second quarter. Logan Canuck sneaks in from the 1, 7-0 Spartans, and then late in the half, Dane Zinkula with a pick, and he is gone. The bad throw caused by pressure from Cole Reichsmeyer. Zinkula goes all the way back, 88 yards. Grundy Center takes the momentum to half, up 14-0. And in the second, their offense heats up. Canuck turns and fires a strike to Dexter Whitehill well into Woodbury Central territory. A couple plays later, Canuck to Colin Gordon turns it to the inside and dives for the score. 21-0. Spartans running away, and Canuck putting this one on ice from the 8-yard line on the read option, and Grundy Center will get another shot. They roll into the final 28-7.
Defensively, we've been solid all year, only giving up 4 points per game, which I'd give a lot of credit to the coaches, but we have a lot of great guys that are executing. Our D-line's been great.
We knew coming into the season that we were going to have to replace a lot of big pieces that left us last year. And so to come back here 3 years in a row and get in one more shot before we all graduate, that's an amazing feeling.
In Cedar Falls, Mark Woodley, News 7 KWWL.
On Thursday and Friday, 14 teams will chase a state football championship. Among them, the Grundy Center Spartans, who are just one of 2 teams in this year's field, making a 3rd straight appearance. The last 2 came up just a bit short. Now, the Spartans have been prepping indoors in Waterloo for Thursday's Class A final against West Hancock, the same team that knocked them off in the 2019 final. Now the Spartans feature 10 seniors playing in their third and last championship, including dynamic quarterback Logan Canuck and his top target Dexter Whitehill. And head coach Travis Zajac, who's led all three of those Spartan teams, isn't surprised to see this group in this position once again.
Our kids have improved every single week. Our assistant coaches have done a fantastic job of trying to identify roles for our kids, sharpening and honing their technique throughout the season, obviously trying to put them in the best position to be successful when we do play, and credit to our players for taking every lesson and running with it.
All our hard work that we've had over the past few years in the weight room, over the off season, it's really just paid off. It's that we've made it these past 3 years.
Thursday's Class A finals kicks off at 1 o'clock in the Dome. Well, the Iowa chase a state football championship, among them the Grundy Center Spartans, who are just one of 2 teams in this year's field, making a third straight appearance. The last 2, well, they came up just a little bit short.
2 straight seasons, the Grundy Center Spartans left the state finals with a trophy, but not the one they were shooting for.
Coming up short 2 years in a row, it's an awful feeling. This is my last chance. This is our seniors' last chance.
We've been talking about a lot as coaching staff is that finish second sucks past 2 years, but this one we're really looking to take it all.
And with that in mind, the Spartans have been working hard, getting ready for an opponent they know well.
They're a fantastic football team and program.
He's talking about West Hancock, the team that edged the Spartans in the 2019 final, but then fell to the Spartans the following season. Round 3 is again for a title.
It's just going to come down to who can execute their scheme and who can play the most fundamentally sound football. It's going to win it.
And that's what Grundy Center has been doing all season long, improving each week along the way, ultimately culminating in a 28-7 win over Woodbury Central in the semis, a game in which fourth-year quarterback Logan Canuck threw a pair of touchdowns, and he says the Spartans will be ready.
We know the standard. We know what we have to do to compete at this high of a level, and so we know what the atmosphere is going to be like, and that'll help us a ton, just keeping our nerves down.
And if they can, they'll be hoisting the right trophy this time. But more importantly for some is putting on the headwear given to all boys state champs in recent years.
I really want to put the hat on. I just want to put the hat on. That's what all of our guys have been talking about, but that would be awesome.
Well, Grundy Center is back playing for a Class A state football title for the 3rd consecutive year. Spartans going up against West Hancock, who they bumped out of the quarterfinals just last year. Grundy Center down 19-7 to West Hancock late in the second half, but on the flip, Dane Zinkala fights his way to the end zone, waking up the Spartan faithful. Grundy Center had a chance to win with a 2-minute drill, no timeouts left. Logan Knack, he has to scramble. He gets the Spartans within the 10, down close, and then with 1 second left, tries to spike it, but after a conference, the referees say this one's over. West Hancock wins the state title. Spartans finish as the runner-up for the 3rd year straight, falling 19-14.
I'm an emotional man. The kids know that. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm going to love them like crazy. Continue to coach the heck out of them. Try to help raise them as best I can. But to come up short the way we did and not be able to offer an explanation to them, really hard pill to swallow.
Unity Dome, the Grundy Center Spartans are hoping the 3rd time is the charm. The Spartans are making their 3rd straight appearance in the Class A state football championship game after finishing the 2nd in 2019 and 2020. Grundy Center looks to break through today against unbeaten West Hancock. Grundy Center and West Hancock met in the 2019 state football championship game. Spartans drive down the field on their opening possession. Logan Canuck hits Tate Javonsky. A deep pass into West Hancock territory. Canuck scores to make it 7-0 Grundy Center, but West Hancock rallies to take control. When Mitchell Smith hits Ryan Barnes on this 35-yard touchdown pass, West Hancock takes a commanding 19-7 lead in the 3rd quarter. But Grundy Center keeps fighting. It's Dane Zinkala slashing 8 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. The Spartans are within 5 with 8:48 to play. Grundy Center gets the ball 1st and goal inside the West Hancock 10-yard line on this Logan Canuck run. But time would run out on Grundy Center as West Hancock hangs on for a thrilling 19-14 win in the Class A State Football Championship.
Coming here 3 years in a row, that's awesome. Not a lot of people get to do that. And I mean, I'm going to miss this a ton. I know the seniors are going to miss this, but they're a good football team, and they came out on top.
Our kids and how hard they fought up until the end. Decisions are made at some levels, and you can't really quite explain it to your kids. And that's what I've spent the last 10 minutes trying to do, is explain to them what happened in the game. And I can't give them a legitimate answer because no one explained anything to me. So very proud of our kids, proud of their effort, proud of our assistant coaches, proud of all of our families. Very proud to be a Grundy Center Spartan.
3 second-place finishes. The Spartans have also won 36 of 40 games over the last 3 years.
After 12 weeks, we've officially reached the final day of the high school football season for Eastern Iowa, with a pair of programs still in the hunt for state titles. In Class A, the Grundy Center Spartans have once again carried their shields into the state title game for the 3rd straight year. But after finishing runner-up the past 2 seasons, the Spartans hoping the 3rd time's a charm. Grundy Center taking on West Hancock in a rematch of the 2019 state title game, which the Eagles won 21-17. The Spartans trailed 19-7 headed into the 4th, but find a spark on offense. Logan Canuck ropes one down the sideline to Dexter Whitehill, who makes the grab and more to get Grundy Center in the red zone. A few plays later, 3rd down, Spartans go with a surprise handoff to Dane Zinkula, who rips it right up the middle for the 9-yard touchdown to make it a 5-point game with under 9 remaining. Ensuing West Hancock possession, the Grundy Center defense comes up clutch. First play, the ball pops loose, and Whitehill is there for the recovery. Spartans ball with a chance to take the lead late. But West Hancock would stand tall. 4th down, Canuck's pass goes incomplete, and the Eagles take back over. Grundy Center gets another stop to get the ball back, and Canuck and co drive down to the West Hancock 24 with 16 seconds left. He keeps it and scrambles 15 yards to the 9. The first down stops the clock with 2 seconds to go. The Spartans spike it, but the clock hits 0. Grundy Center thinks it's got a second left, but the refs ruled that the game is over as Grundy Center loses a heartbreaker 19-14 and finishes as state runner-up for the 3rd consecutive year.
Really proud of our kids and how hard they fought up until the end. Decisions are made at some levels, and you can't really quite explain it to your kids. And that's what I've spent the last 10 minutes trying to do, is explain to them what happened in the game. And I can't give them a legitimate answer because no one explained anything to me. So very proud of our kids, proud of their effort, proud of our assistant coaches, proud of all of our families. Very proud to be a Grundy Center Spartan.
To get to play as many games as you can in Iowa football 3 years in a row, that's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of kids in the state that dream about playing in the state championship, and for us to do it 3 times, it's a blessing.